Digi-Soul aufladen! Megaspannung!
Agumon digitiert zu!
Irgendetwas geschieht, was ist los in diesem Niemandsland? Irgendetwas wird schon gleich passieren, das habe ich längst erkannt. Mach die Augen auf und du besiegst die Angst, die uns hält.
Shine Greymon!
Hello Digimon figure fans, this is Mega881000 again, and like I promised in the last making of update video about Shine Greymon's creation, I now welcome you to the more detailed final review of Shine Greymon Resin model kit figure by the KHZone Design Studio. But before I starting with that, there's some more official character bio about Shine Greymon in general, where I think this bio data is again worth mentioning. Shine Greymon is a light dragon Digimon who fights with the glowing solar energy. His special technique is spreading his gigantic wings and absorbing the surrounding sun rays with these special details on the wings. I think with those. Collecting them and concentrating this light energy to its utmost limit, and then using it in the form of a high intensity laser beam which he fires through the lens which is mounted on his chest, called Glorious Burst. In addition, Shine Greymon mows down the opponent with his wings of shimmering light, while Shine Greymon envelopes himself with a glowing aura and attacks the opponent with it. This attack technique is called Shining Blast. Shine Greymon can also use the double-bladed sword named Grey Sword, in which the power of Gaia is condensed, which he can summon from the solid earth. Shine Greymon can also fire bullets of light energy called Sparkle Shoot, and it is also able to fire arcing beams from its wings called Corona Splash. Shine Greymon can also perform the so-called Shine Hammer by smashing a fist filled with light energy down on the opponent. Yeah, so much about that, and now let us get into the actual review about this resin figure of Shine Greymon. It is, like I said, in an official resin model kit. Yeah, that's the way you can call it, because you have to build it up from parts and before have to paint the parts. So I think model kit is actually a matching name for this. Yeah. Like I said, because you had done all the painting and building up stuff, I hope you know this. I made some making of update videos about the whole process, which I have all linked in the video description down below. And like I said, the figure is made by the KHZone Design Studio. And that's the bit unimpressive box of it. And I showed you the box already in maybe some of those update videos, but because this is the review, I want to show you the box a bit quick again. So we have the cover image here, even with the Savers logo on it, and KHZone logo, and on the upper side you have again written KHZone on both sides. And I also will keep the box here in the background for the case Shine Greymon tips over and I have something to lean the figure against it, because that could happen when I try to move him a bit, turn him, and that happened in the German version of this video, but I think you will experience that in this video as well. Yeah. But at the moment he is actually standing truly on its own, thanks to all my work and reworking on the joints that I had come up with for a better balancing of the figure. But I want to speak about this here not so much because, as I said, I made some detailed making of update videos about this topic. So the figure is now what it is, and so it is still very shaky and top heavy and tips over very easily. But it can stand on its own, as you can see here, and that's a big plus, I think. It was not possible for me personally to do that a little better, or could give him a kind of doing this better was not possible for me, so to speak. Maybe you can create him some custom stand with a clamp to support his stand a bit better, but that is also not an action figure in this point of view. I think you know what I mean. That's just rather a figure for displaying it on your shelf. My other two Resin model kits also just standing in the shelf, and they are much more wobbly and shaky and less good balanced. So Shine Greymon already has a very good and, let's say, a more trustworthy balance, because imagine from its size and the weight, it is very top heavy and it can stand on its own, and that's very nice, I think. Yeah, and at first I want to say something about my color choice and style, because this is at least my own color style I gave him, and so I decided more for this metallic color style like the figure arts Digimon have, and not for the rather pale anime color style where all these metallic gold details are more yellow, which I also will show you now by using this transformable Savers Digivolving figure of Shine Greymon, which you can digivolve back to the Savers Agumon form. Yeah, so we would have that. And because it's a transformer, it looks also a bit strange, but well, those were officially released and sold by Bandai in South Korea only. As a result, they are of course very rare today, but this review should be about this one, and I just want to show you this for comparing. But I mean, by comparing both color styles, you see what I mean, and that's exactly why I chose this rather metallic color style for my color style for my figure, and because I think it looks a lot better than this pale anime style. And there are also Bandai illustrations of him on cards and stuff where he is illustrated more in such a metallic color style as well. I just wouldn't have liked it that much if I had gone for that yellow or rather pale anime color style here. And this has been my own decision as well. And I think this more metallic color style is more eye-catching and looks more impressive, and also gives him a more of this figure arts color style for collector's figures than if I had given him this rather pale anime color style. Like I said, in this case it would just look rather simpler like this one, and had more this simpler, in quotation marks, cheap action figure color scheme, and because of that I decided for this more metallic color style. Otherwise I can't tell you that much about it now. It's just an unofficial figure, and I can't give such big ratings about what is good and what not. You know, I also can't say anything bad about my own paint shop or the quality of it now, because it's my own work, which I can't talk bad, you know, and I just try to give all those parts the matching color style and paint apps as accurately as possible. And I think, without wanting to praise myself, I did what was possible, and I also gave my best to give the figure all the important paint apps as I had imagined, or as it should be done, or as I would wish my figure to look like, you know, because at least it's my figure. Just in this more metallic color style and not in this rather pale color which they had in the anime, so to say. The modeling and accuracy of all these details here is actually very decent. Well, it isn't not a figure art style, but it is just a more simpler style, and it is also something unofficial. But I also must say that all the important details, they molded and they are there on these different body parts or armor parts. Well, I can't say that this detail is missing or they forgot to mold this detail. No, can't say this. Everything is there, and I was able to highlight every of those nice details with my color scheme. So there is actually nothing to complain about the modeling and the style of the parts, so to speak, in general. Yeah, and now I try to get some close-ups by filming around the figure. I think we should do this now to get a better, close-up of this nice figure. Also all those details. Which I added on the parts, all those paint apps, to get a full view of this. And it is sadly impossible to turn him while filming because of the balancing issue. And as I said in the update videos, I gave him some additional joints for the wrists, for the connection of the arm and the hands, and for the lower body and yeah, the thigh joint connection. So I think we have done that, and like I said about the eyes, I want to show you this quick. This would be the original eyes which were included, but the color style of those is very bad, and I don't like them, and so I don't use them. And yeah, mine I made from this sticker, halfway from the components of the sticker, and the blue and the bigger white section is paint. Yeah. Or painted, better said. And how I said, he is what he is, and for what he is pretty decent and well done. A very well done resin model kit figure. With my additional articulated joint connections, he has more range for movements than it would be with the only included joint connections, thanks to my personal wish and the afterworks to create that better joint structure. I also show you some of the articulation and will demonstrate this a bit for you, because this is the review. Yeah, and he can, but for this I will support him a bit with the box. He can turn his neck, also can move the neck up and down a bit until his other armor parts which surrounding it coming in the way, and he also can look down only with the head a bit, and of course can turn the head separately from the neck a bit. Very movable at this section, and you also can move his wings. This one fits a bit tighter, but actually he can do this with the other wing as well. For the shoulders we have those joint connection pieces with the hinge and rotation, and hinge in and out. Same for the elbow, can bend the elbow joint like this, and also you can turn this, but you should not overdo this so much, because yeah, the balancing issue, or better said, that you not damage something. And of course, of my additional joint connection here, he can tilt the fist, because this would only be this pack connection, but now he can turn and tilt the fist or the hands a bit. He also can move the hips, but I stuffed too much kitchen paper in there, so I can show you it, but you easily could change this as well. But if you change it, he can turn the hips at this section to the left and the right, and the same what I explained to the shoulder joints applies to my own created thigh connection, joint connection, so he can also rotate the legs a bit and spread the legs to the sides or in and out, because there is also such a hinge connection joint like on the shoulders. The same is he can bend his knees through this hinge joint connection here. The only thing I don't, what is still loose, are the feet, but I thought I don't glue them on, because so he can decide on his own where to put the weight for a better balance, if you know what I mean with that. And also there are some of those joint connections with tilt for the tail, like here, but it's all a bit shaky and I won't do so much here. So let's try to turn the figure a bit around for you to have a front view of it, and I also can do some close-up filming again for the front view. To get the idea of all those details and how the figure looks. Yeah. So we would have that, and he's also pretty huge in size. He is actually almost 12.8 inches, which would be about almost 32.5 centimeters, and measured from the ground to the highest, yeah, body part would be that would be those almost 12.8 inches. So I can also try to turn him a bit to this side to get the idea of the other details of the other side here. With the sword. Can also go into the close-up again here a bit for you to get another idea of all those painting what I done, and I think it looks very, very nice. How I said, I can't talk bad about my own paint job, but I think it is not so. That's the truth. Or what do you think? Yeah. So we would have that. How I said, you also can give him with the other arm some other cool pose with the sword. He's nearly able to hold it in position if he wants. But yeah, the weight pulls it down again. But you get the idea what it is possible. What is possible with the joints here? You also loosen the parts very easily because I think I put too less kitchen paper there, and I think I show you the option part, because here is my integrated joint which I explained in those update videos which I used for the wrist joint connection. And here we have the integrated hand. I think that's very nice and simple solved and looks very good. But if you want, you can give him the other hand, the other normal hand like he has on the other arm with the same joint connection. But I don't pull out the joint connection now, just to get the idea how this would look like. I think I will add some photos after the review, or don't know how I will do this in the end. Yeah. As I said, I can't say that much about it if you should buy the figure or not, because I think it is a very rare figure now, so probably very expensive if you can find it, and you have to paint and assemble it yourself, and I think very few of you will want to do this kind of work. So maybe we want to try some turning around action again to get the view of his back also as well. And you see, I think I don't have to say much about this. You see yourself, it is still very, very shaky and not so good balanced, but yeah, it is what it is. It is more a figure for display it in your shelf. So we do quick this close up here again for the back view to get the idea of those other details here in the tail as well. And at this point I cut the video and turned the figure around because of the balancing issues, and I also want to tell you something about, maybe you've seen it already, he can turn the last tip of his tail a bit, but this is only caused because it came broken to me. And so I had to fix it. I also explained it in some of those making of videos. But if you're wondering, he has additional kind of joint there to be able to turn the tail a bit, which he originally won't have there. Yeah. And I think we should do some compares now to get to the end. And at first, for compare, I'm bringing in the figure which I showed you already before for the color comparison. This is how I said the only South Korean release voltage evolving Savors Agumon and Shine Greymon, and this would be the box of it. You can see all is here in Korean writings, but it is an original Bandai product, but they all only sold and released them officially in South Korea. And with his line mates, with the Gaomon to Mirage Gaogamon and Kudamon to Tylinmon or Shirinmon or Quilinmon, because this one has more names. But the Japanese original name is Tylinmon, and here you also can see the original Toei seal, so you can see this was officially an official product. And for the compare, I will bring in the Tylinmon, as I said, just to see how they are looking together. And I also can show you the third one, which is, how I said, Gaomon Mirage Gaogamon. And yeah, just for compare. And this cape is customized, it's a custom cape. The original figure won't have this cloth cape. I made it with the help of another person. And yeah, I also showed you those figures in my older videos in pictures, and at this time he don't had the cape. So just for explaining, putting them back as well. Yeah, and I have some other Savors Digimon figures from several lines here. I think this is the best matching reasonable compare, because the size would match, I think. And this is made by Mega House. This were the first little Digimon figures which Mega House made, and they only made Agumon's line and Gaomon's line, and also missed out the mega levels or the ultimate forms, and they were packed in these boxes. Just to show you this quick. And there were also some transparent versions of them, but only this evolution line and Gaomons. Yeah, so we would have that. And I also can bring in some other Savors model kit figures. Again, Shine Greymon and Gaogamon. which are looking very nice, and the revolver and the helmet I also customized with this nice iron color, because it would look in original state like those parts of Greymon, which are made from this cheap looking grey plastic. Yeah. And I also can make some better on camera reviews about those figures, like those or the other which I showed you right before. And yeah, if you want, I can do this. And those are actually some strange mixed figures, because they are halfway model kits and halfway just like put together figures, because there were parts that you built like on model kits on them, and on the other hand, the main body was more made from is made like one piece. This is especially true for Shine Greymon's lower body, except the feet and the tail is one piece by that figure. Yeah, some strange mix, but really nice and detailed figures. And they only made those two. They only released those two in this line. But maybe I bring in another figure for compare. My channel will compare figure of the official Bandai Tamashii Nations D-Arts line Greymon, D-Arts Greymon Original Designers Edition, which is maybe more familiar to you as the others which I showed you before, just to see how they are looking together. And again, the size of this Shine Greymon model kit is pretty huge against this. Yeah, so that you have seen how those are looking together. And I think the best comparable figure size wise is my new Mega House Precious GM Alpha Switchermon figure, just to see how they are looking together. But I think they are almost the same size, just for comparison. Yeah, so we would have that compare done as well. I don't know if I forgot to mention it before, but thanks to my additional used real joint connection pieces for the thigh and the lower body connection, he has those thigh joints additional. Otherwise, this thigh joint would be only a back connection, as I told you more detailed in some of the making of videos. Also, a thing what I have to admit is that I put on the right upper arm the wrong way round, but because I cut the video before, I was able to change this for the last minutes for this video here. I am very sorry, but this went already wrong, I think, as I struggled with the assembly with him. Yeah. Well, and I think with that we will finish this review. Now you have seen the KHZone's ShineGreymon Resin model kit figure in all its glory. That was my review of it, and I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. I won't recommend buying it here so much, because as I said, it will be very difficult to get it, and you don't want to do all this work, I think. But if you can manage all of this as well as I did, all the painting and stuff, then that's one nice and pretty decent model kit figure of Shine Greymon. It's more a figure for displaying on your shelf, but well. And also accuracy wise the best and only figure of Shine Greymon you can get so far. And like I said, with that we are through with this review, and I hope you liked it a bit. If so, you can leave me a thumbs up for this video please, and also can subscribe to my channel. And I'm saying goodbye to you, and until the next review, your Mega 88 1000.
何もない世界じゃ感動できない、そう気づいたその日からわかるのさ。震えを止めて瞳を開け、君の時間を解き放て、未来へシューリンスター、光のアーチ描け、届くのさ、信じ続けるならば、君を呼ぶ声が心で弾けたら、全てが始まる Believer。 ただ一つの約束が世界を変える、小さな頃見上げてた星のように、心の奥で瞬く光、夢という名の輝きへ。 You can be a shooting star、 それが君の約束、暗闇を切り裂けるその力、思いの強さがスピードを上げるから、その て